So, guys, okay, the first thing I really want you to, to understand. I think let me put it this way. The first thing really there is to understand is actually how to process and receive music through your ears, man. More basically, how to listen to tracks, because that's not as easy as it sounds. Anyways, if you are actually looking into production, but if you are just listening to music for entertainment purposes, then yeah, maybe you'll enjoy every track you hear. That's fine, cause that's why people do music for entertainment and most of the time. But if you really are wanting to produce tracks yourself and actually know how to mix tracks, then your approach on how to listen to tracks themselves won't really be the same as any normal person. But this I take it as a skill. It's a skill you actually develop as you progress or whatever, gain more experience. So I just want to make a simple example. I have to use one of my tracks because I'm sort of avoiding a lot of. Okay, let me take this one for example. Let me take this one. Let's open this. The reason why I'm choosing this track is because I made this track a long time ago and I also didn't know much about mixing, but I already had learned a lot on that little time, and I used the tricks I had learned then to make this track at the time. This track I think I made this track in 2017 and I actually enjoy it a lot. Man. I love this track a lot and I haven't released it. It's because I love it, man. I also feel like I've made it for myself. So by the look of things here, you can actually see the structure because this part here, it's sort of a bridge, I can say that. But what I want you to notice is the type of drums that I used here, the type of drums and where the drums are and where the sound. When I actually mean where the sound, you should use your headphones for this one and actually listen to what sounds where, if that makes sense. If you hear a certain clap, where does the clap sound? Is it on your left? Is it on your right? Does it actually sound in front of you or at the back or whatever? If you hear a synth, how does the synth sound? Has some delay been added to it or has some reverb been added to it? Those are kinds of stuff you actually take note of when you listen to tracks. And yeah, man, once you actually take note of them, then you may have an idea of how I did some tracks, how some producers have made some tracks. Then you have little idea. After that, you'll actually be able to appreciate their tracks because some guys people can make good music. We're just playing. Anyways, I hope this will help. Let me play this track, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pause right there. The first thing you must notice is the type of kick I used there. The kick is sort of open kick, and it's not that much thin kick. It's sort of a wide and open kick, and it's just the kick for now and the pad. So those are two things. So it's not that difficult to decipher them. It's just kick and a pad. You must notice that it's just a kick and a pad. Same thing plays there until here. Okay, I'm gonna pause right there. You actually had something happen to that pad. It sort of goes up a bit. So there's that I don't know how to explain that sound, but that's the sound that introduces this part here to more kicks and sort of a bit more complicated. So something happened to the pad there. That's what you should notice. Okay, we're gonna continue. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. You can hear I've introduced a shaker. There's a shaker that's sort of to the left, sort of bit soft shaker. It's a soft shaker, and the kicks have become a bit more complicated because I've added some more kicks there. I don't know whether it's the same kick or what, but yeah, there's a bit of complication in the kicks. Obviously, there's that banga 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 sound there, and there's a head, and there's a bass, sort of bass synth, also that sort of covers the track. Those things, guys, are not difficult. They're not difficult to sort of understand. That's why I actually chose this track, because I knew I used simple, basic drums. I used basic drums, and it's actually a tip I learned when I was starting to learn mixing like this. I'm not sure where I got it from right now, but the guy told me exactly like to use as little drums as possible as you can. That will actually help you because the drums will sound distinct. Everyone will actually get to hear what sounds you actually used. So that the shakers are there. You can hear the shaker, you can hear the head, you can hear the bass, you can hear the lead. It's simple if you use as minimum drums as you can if you're starting up. Because if for most guys right now, like let's take for example artists you look up to, they use a lot of stuff, but they've been doing this for years. So you can't actually start with a lot of stuff. So you have to start slow, start small. Few kicks and stuff are easy to mix, guys. Easy to mix. You put one to the left, example, put a shaker to the right, put a head to the left, put this there. Everything sounds perfectly because they are minimum. So it's easy to work with those kind of things. See, at this moment here, I hope you're still with me at this moment. I'm gonna play that part again. I want you to listen to that pad. You'll hear that pad. It sort of opens up, or the volume sort of increases, and there's some water playing on there. I'm sure I've added some rain. I don't know what it's rain or what now, because I did this track almost 2 years ago, over 2 years ago, 2017. So I'm not sure about the things that I used back then, but I can decipher them because I know how to listen to the tracks right now. I know what to listen to. I can hear, and I can sort of get the idea of the producer. And it's more simpler for me because this is my track also, and I know the techniques I usually use to make these tracks. Take note of the pad and the water here. You can hear the pad sort of went down at this point, introducing the bass. There's this sort of bass that's from the left to the right, it's moving around. Bass is moving around. There's also a synth that I also introduced at this point. Simple, guys. Shakers. There's this heads that say that go with the bass symbol. I'm sure by now you can easily identify such stuff. Okay, you can also hear the tambourine, more basic things. Okay, I think I'll play from there. I'm sure you have noticed that there's this other sort of lead with a lot of reverb that has been automated there, because you can't actually tell when it was introduced. So for sure that's automation. I'm sure you had the same thing that happened with the pad. It's been going on for quite some time. The pad sort of goes up and down, but this time I introduced another thing to layer it with the kick. And you can hear at this point that there's this sound that was going like, it's been removed, it's no longer there now, which gives the other lead like a bit more freedom. You can clearly hear it now, the one that says gum 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 gum. You can easily hear it at this point. Okay, I'll play that part again so that things start. You can feel the track has become more simpler and more relaxing at this point, because I've removed some other things and let this other lead. Okay, it's almost the same thing now. What you should take note of, guys, is how I actually substitute some drums, because the more I add, the more the tracks becomes complicated. Now when it's complicated, it's not easy to actually hear everything. Some things will sort of be layered on top of each other and you won't hear some. So when I introduced some new parts of the song, I actually removed some other parts of the song. So that's another tip you can actually take. When you remove something, you also add something new, and remove something old, but you don't remove everything. So that makes the new introduced element of the song sound more clearer. Okay. Okay, let's head here now. You can simply hear that I introduced chords here, right at the bridge, soft chords, and I let that lead take through the chords, and yeah, this part is actually more interesting, and it actually was the part that I was aiming for during this whole track. Let me check how long is this thing. Okay, 15 minutes. At least I'll make it less than 20. So by now, guys, you actually should notice the type of drum that I use, where the drum sounds, and the type of leads and all the stuff, and how I maneuver them throughout the song to introduce certain section and also to remove some other stuff. chords and build freedom. At this point, you can actually hear that the lead and the pad sort of opened up. You should notice that there's the frequency that the cutoff has been more open at this point. Let's continue. Yeah, I want you to take note of this part, because as they open here, I'm gonna close them back again here, so the track will come back again with a more relaxing feel. Okay, let's do this. You should have noticed there when I came back, I introduced the heads again, plus the water. Simple stuff. Simple stuff. Okay, guys, I'm gonna leave it there for now. I think you should have learned a bit. I don't know. I didn't know how to approach this, but I also haven't seen a tutorial like this. But you should know how to analyze tracks when you listen to them. That's when you will actually be able to learn a lot from what you listen to, the producers you look up to. That's when you'll get to learn from their production and to appreciate what they actually do. So I'm hoping this may have helped, or maybe it hasn't. Maybe I didn't do it right. I don't know. I didn't know any way to actually do this, but I had an idea to sort of make a track analyzation tutorial for the start of things, because I'll be making more tracks on how to mix the tracks now. So if you didn't know what you actually should have taken note of in this video, just start it again and make sure you listen to the drums, the type of drum that I actually used when I made this track, the type of drums and how I pen the drums. Well, as I said earlier, like the shaker was to the left and the head was to the right, and there was sort of more reverb on the lead, and the lead was automated, and all that. Those are the things you should take note of when you're actually watching the video. Just check the video out again, guys. It's not a problem. And let me know, man, if there's more tracks I should have analyzed, or maybe some things I didn't talk about, or maybe some things I should talk about. This is the start of a mixing tracks tutorial, so this will be the first video. The second video, I'll be showing you how to actually choose your drums there. So I'll be uploading these videos. I don't know if I'll be making them the same time, all of them, or recording one after every few days. But when you get this one, just let me know how you actually liked it, so that I continue, or if I made a lot of things badly, then I stop and I check myself also. But yeah, for now, this was it, guys. I said 20 minutes tops, sharp.